Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining us today. Hope you're all having a good week so far. Our webinar today is all around platform automation and the possibilities that you've got within the platform to automate as much as possible and make your lives easier. So we'll jump straight in. There'll be a mix of some slides with information, and then we'll also be going into the platform, showing you how these things actually work. So today we will be covering what can be automated in your platform, how do we automate it, and also, as I mentioned, we'll deep dive into each platform element as we go along. And then finally, at the end, there will be time for Q&A. The Q&A box is open, so if you do have any questions as we go along, please feel free to pop them in there. We'll try and get to them as we go. If not, we will answer those at the end. So the first thing first is, if you don't know me, my name is Jack. I am one of the customer success managers here at accessplanit. Some of you I may work with, but yeah, I'm part of the Optimize team to make sure you kind of always getting the value out of your platform. So first, we're going to jump into what can be automated in your platform. So there's many, most common thing is emails, but there's also a lot of things except and outside of that you can automate from the platform. So obviously the first one I mentioned is automated emails. It's probably the most common one that people use and the most known one. But you can also automate tasks, so relating to courses, for example. You can also automate certificates sending to your customers. And you can also automate sign-in sheets and registers to be generated for your courses, for your trainers. So you may know about some of these, you may not do, but we're going to jump into all of them. And I hope you learn something today you can take away. So we'll go over automated emails. There's just some examples that you can send automatically. You may already do these, but I may give you an idea of what you can automate. So we're looking at booking confirmations, joining instructions and any reading material for the course, a pre-course survey, a post-course survey, train notifications, invoices, so generated invoices, any overdue invoices, and if payment has been received. These are the most common ones, but people use it for all sorts. As I mentioned, email is probably the most popular one, the most common one that you probably know about. We'll look next at tasks. So this is some examples of things that you can automate with tasks. So ensure a lunch order is placed 7 days before a classroom course. Ensure that the attendee list is provided to reception. And then mark course attendance within 1 day of the course end date. And finally, analyze delegate surveys or feedback 2 weeks after the course. So with these, it's really all about giving tasks and assigning these to people relating to a course when a course is taking place or is due to be completed. It really just gives you the ability to automate those and take away some of the manual elements of what you have to do within the course. So we will just jump back in. So we've got the examples of tasks. Bear with. So I think we will jump into certificates. So you can issue certificates through the platform automatically, and these can be. I don't think the slides are showing. Bear with me. I'm so sorry. There we go. So yeah, we can issue certificates to complete delegates. So you can generate bespoke certificates for your delegates that are totally designed by you. So they don't have to be a standard certificate. They can be absolutely anything. You can generate them, brand them as much as you like. You can automatically send these to your customers after the course via an email. So again, it's just that taking away that automation, taking away the manual element, sorry, and bringing in that automation. So you don't have to do anything to give them the certificate. And then you can also make these available for your delegates to download on demand from their learner portal. Sign-in sheets is the next one we want to cover. So you can issue your sign-in sheets to your trainers. So again, you can generate bespoke sign-in sheets and registers for each of your courses. You can automatically send these to the trainer of the course via an email. And then you can also make these available for your trainers to download on demand from their My Teaching page. So we'll jump into each of these areas now in the platform, and we'll go and I'll show you how each of them really works. So we'll start off with how we do a task. We'll look then at certificates and registers. So I'm just going to share my screen into one of our platforms, and we're just going to be using one of our test platforms today. This is just a demo platform that we have, and so there's no real data in there, so you may not recognize it or it may not be relevant to you. But yeah, just so we can kind of practice and show what it looks like. So we all know how, or I would expect that most people know how an email can be sent from the platform. But just to recap, these would sit under profile and administration, and then you scroll down to workflows. This is where a lot of your automation is going to take place. So you've got all of your workflows here that are set up within your platform, and then these will all have actions attached. So if we go into this, for example, this course date reminder here, we'll edit this. And then the actions is where all your actions obviously are going to live. So this is where your send email, your tasks are going to live. So you can see here, we've got send email. Great. So we're going to send an email to the course, to the trainer with the course date reminder based on the settings that we have obviously provided within the workflow. To add a task to be created is really, really simple. You literally click the add workflow action button. And then from here, normally, most people would use the send email option, but we're actually going to use a create a task option. So it works exactly the same way as a workflow, as an email workflow. We're going to click create task and save. And then when we've done that, we've got all the different actions and the parameters that we can set that relate to that task. So the workflow action date, so you can change these from constant function field like most of the things. So the most common one is going to be a function, because this is going to be a recurring task that's going to be set. It's not a one-off action. So for example, we want to set a task 10 minutes before the course start date. That's what we want to set. And then this is who we're going to be setting that that task for, who it's going to be mapped to. So we have to select an account. So we can select the account that the task will belong to, the creator user, so who's going to be the person that creates the task. So you could just have it as an admin, for example, or it could be just created for me because I'm the course admin. What it's going to be mapped to, so every task has to be mapped to something. So it could be the account, the course. Again, on this, you can change it to a field if you want, to the trigger object, or you can just have it as a constant. So you could always select it to be set to a certain account or a certain course, for example. The priority that you set, so these are preset options 1 through to 5, the progress, the status, and then you type in your subject, and then you type in your what type is it. So these are all customizable per your platform. So for this one, we've got like activity, follow up, to do. So I'll set this as a to do. And also what's nice is you can add extra fields in. So these are all standard. And you can see here that on the right, we've got these minuses. These are all mandatory, so we can't remove these. But we can add in extra fields here. So if we wanted to know, if we wanted to set the due date, for example, we can select that from here, press the plus, and then we have that here as an option. Again, you get the options for constant, function, or field. So again, we could use the function, and then we could set this to be done, I don't know, 10 minutes after the course start date, for example, whatever this action may be. So that's when it's going to be due. You press save, and then that will be that. We need to map it to the right, to the relevant fields. Type in, make sure your mandatory fields are completed, and then after that, complete course work. Press save, and it will then save that task, as you can see there. And that's in effect going to generate that task when it meets the rules. Is then going to create that task and map that to whatever it has been mapped to, whether it's the account, the course, whatever that may be. So it works, as I say, very, very similar to the emails. You in effect just set in the email to be a task instead. We've got a couple of questions, and we can get a copy of the presentation. I am happy to send a copy of the presentation afterwards if you would like. So I'll send that out with the at the end of the session. And then we've got a question about registers, which I will come on to when we cover registers, which we'll actually do now. So you can create course registers or sign-in sheets. They're quite similar. People use them for different uses, but we're going to talk about sign-in sheets, and they're, as I say, they're quite similar in some respects. You can create them in Microsoft Word, for example, and then using the merge fields that we've got within the platform to then pull through the data relating to that course automatically. So, for example, if you want to pull through on a register the title of the course, the date of the course, you can pull that through, and using the merge tags, as long as you set the merge tags correctly, it's going to pull that information through correctly every time, relevant to the course that we're generating it for. So there's no need for any manual intervention, because we can arrange it to be automatically sent every day, and the correct information will pull through. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you what that would look like in a Microsoft document, so you can kind of get an idea of what we're doing. So as I say, you can create these within Microsoft Word. It's probably the most common, but you can save them as a PDF if you prefer to be sent. And the question that we've got actually is, when we automatically generate registers, would we be able to change the format of the register that are exported? So if we upload it as a PDF, we can then send it out as a PDF. If we upload it as a Word document, the same thing applies. We can send it out as a Word document. So you can choose which format you want to go out in. Same for your certificates, that the same kind of thing applies. For a certificate, you're probably going to want it in a PDF format. You don't want people changing what those look like. So yes, we will be able to, you can choose what they're sent out in. So I will show you what these look like, and then we will show you where they are stored. So I'm just going to load up my the register that I've got. While that loads, I will show you where they live in the platform. So if you go to the profile and administration, and then when we get to that administration menu, you can scroll and you see we've got document templates. So this is where we are going to store all those documents that we want to then automate. So here in the platform, we've got a standard certificate, an all course certificate, and a sign-in sheet. So the sign-in sheet, if you right click and edit, you can just change anything relating to that sign-in sheet. So this is where you would add it into the platform. So here we're telling the platform we've got this sign-in sheet or certificate, and this is what we're going to want to send out to the platform, out from the platform automatically. So you in fact pick the account that it relates to, the name, so sign-in sheet, register, certificate. If you have course specific certificates, obviously make sure you name them and label them so we know what they are. You can pop a description in if you need to. And then you've got a few options at the bottom for active. If you tick it, then obviously it's active. If it's not ticked, it will not send out. Keep the original document type when emailed. So that will be, if it's a Word document, it will send out as a Word document. And then also this next one can be issued. If that's not ticked, again, similar to the active one, if that's not ticked, it will not send out. You can then select here to upload your new file. So you can just browse locally on your computer to upload that file. And then you'll see the current file that we've got here. If I click that, it will download it to my computer. We've got two options at the bottom. What does it apply to? So your only option there is course. And then if we're using the delegate or the trainer details, we need to make sure, obviously, if we're using a trainer, or if this is specific for trainer, we use that. Otherwise, it will be delegate. You click save and close, and then that is in effect saved in the platform. There's no difference when you're adding a document template in between a certificate and a sign-in sheet, or the options that you get. They're all standard. So with that, what we've just downloaded, with the template, hopefully it's going to load up now. Perfect. Right, so I'm just going to share this with you so you can see what this looks like. So as I mentioned, you can create these templates in Word, so it's really easy to use. You can do all like your tables and make it all easy to read and easy to look at, so it's not difficult. So I will just share this window so you can see what that looks like. So this is, hopefully you can see the right window. Right, perfect. Let's share this one. All right, perfect. So hopefully now you can see that all right. So you can see here, this is what I've downloaded from the platform. So this is what we would in effect create within Microsoft Word. So these bits at the top are all just standard. These are like your headers here for your different columns. But then these are merge tags. So similar to creating a mail merge within Microsoft Word, if you're trying to send emails out to a group of people, these work in exactly the same way. So we've got a knowledge base page, which gives you all the information that you need to know, which merge tags to use, how you can use them, and also how to insert them so they pull through correctly. And then, as I mentioned, this will pull through all the correct information relating to that course. And then we've got our candidate names, the email that we want, and then the space for them to sign in and give their signature. So when we upload this into the platform, as I just showed before, into the document templates. So we would create this how we want. If you wanted to put logos in, if you wanted to put any branding on, you could absolutely do that. You can make it look exactly how you want, really. So what we do is, when we've added that, so this is what we created. We've then added it as a document template into the platform. And now we want to be able to assign those. We want to be able to share those within the, with our delegates or with our trainers. So what's important to know is that these are set at the course template level. So whenever you set it at the course template level, it will then pull through to your course dates. Unlike some other things in the platform, if you update them after a course date has been scheduled, don't worry, you don't have to go back and edit all your course dates. It will pull through from whatever is on the course template at that time. So we're going to use this basic first aid training as an example, and we'll go to edit that. So when you go to edit, when you go into the course template, you'll then see, when we scroll down, you've got this section here called document templates. And you've got these three areas called sign-in form, register, and certificate. You can see here that we've allocated a sign-in sheet and an all-course certificate to the certificate field. If your course template does not have these assigned to it, and you try to generate or send out a sign-in sheet or a register, whatever it may be, it will not send. you have to make sure that these are on here or it's not going to send out. It's a common thing that I still do. It's easy to forget, but you've got to remember it's got to be set at the course template level for it to then send out. To set it, it's as easy as clicking the select option. You'll get this pop-up which shows you all of the options that you've got, the document template set up in your platform. You literally click it, select OK, and then it will populate in this box. So when you've done that, you literally just press save, and then that will update for every course date that you've got scheduled now and in the future. And what's really good is that if you change anything on your register, on your certificate, you can update it in the document template. You don't need to update it on the course templates because it's going to know we're using this document template and pull through the latest file that you've uploaded. So when we've allocated it to the course template, there's a couple of ways we can automate it through an email to send that out, or if you need to, there's a couple of other ways that you can do it. So I'm just going to show you on this complete course here, for example, how we're going to send out a certificate. So you can right click and then edit. And then if a delegate calls up saying a lot of things we have sometimes is they've lost a certificate, they need it to get a job, whatever it may be, you can then generate the certificate individually for that delegate that calls up. So we say Samantha's called up saying that she needs a certificate. We can right click on Samantha and then we can click generate documents. From clicking here, you can then see we get this pop-up window, and then this is where it's going to let us generate it. So it doesn't give you the, because we can, from this window, we can generate any document. It won't automatically choose the certificate. So you've got to go into the select option, choose what we want to select. And that's going to be this all course certificate because that's what is associated to our course template. The output format here we can choose. So PDF or Word, we want it in a PDF certificate. The source. So for this one, it's going to be delegate and it's Samantha. She's already pre-populated, which is great. And then you've got your generation types. You've got 3 options. The first one is generate and download. So that is going to generate the document and then download it locally to your computer. The second one is issue to delegates learner portal. So if you use our learner portal, you can then select this option and then they will be able to go and self-serve and download that certificate from them. Or the last one is download a preview. So similar to generate, but it's just going to download a preview of what this will look like. The top 2 are the most common ones. You generate and download, and then you'll issue to learner portal. When we do that, so if we're going to choose on here, generate and download, we will select all our options, click generate. It will give this option that it says it can take a while. So if you're processing a lot of documents, it can take some time. Basically, only do it once. If you do it multiple times, it's going to cause you problems. Click yes, and then that in effect will create and generate our certificate, which now will download. And you can see it's pulled through the delegate's name, the course, the start date, the certificate number. So as mentioned here, you can see that we've got our branding here. This can all look exactly how you want it to look. So yeah, it's as easy as that. And as I mentioned, you can have these automated. So it will send out at the end of the course. But then this is if someone needs it manually. For example, someone's lost a copy, for example. The other thing I wanted to show you was how to generate the sign-in sheet. So similar to before, we'll use the first aid course because that is, I know we've got one on there. You can right click from here and then scroll down and you can generate documents straight from the bottom. So you can click generate documents, which is going to give you that same pop-up that we had before. Or I know specifically I want to generate the sign-in sheet. So I'm going to click the button for generate sign-in sheet. And straight away, I don't have to fill in any options. It's going to automatically download that for me. So I can see here in my downloads, I've now got this, the demo, my register. If I open this up and I will share and show you what this looks like, this is now going to pull through all of the names of the people that are on that course. So this is what our trainers can get and print. So they can either manually get this or this can be emailed out to them. So as I mentioned before, we've got like the course name that's pulled in, the date and the time of the course, who the trainer is, where it's being held, and then it's pulled through all our delegates and all their email addresses automatically for that course. It does it so easily. It saves so much time. You don't have to ask people the names anymore. It's a really great feature and one that I find is often underused by quite a lot of people. No one, it doesn't seem to be as known about, I guess, as maybe your emails are. I've seen we've got a couple of questions, so I'm just going to have a look at those and go through them now and see if there's anything that we need to do. So we've had a question regarding the registers, not the file format. It was I'd like to add another column into the exported register automatically so don't have to do it manually. Is it possible? So you can choose what you put in the register. I think it depends on what sort of information you're wanting to pull. So if you're wanting to pull it from the platform, it can automatically pull it through. We just have to add the column in add the right merge tag in, and then it will pull that information through correctly. You can just obviously have a blank column, which will pull through blank. But I'm just not too sure on what you mean when you say another column, what you want to include in there. So it may be worth, you can always drop us an email and we can always pick that up separately. But yes, you can kind of pull in as many columns as you want, and it will do that automatically as long as it lives within the platform. We have a question about a task. So can you set up a task for a venue type? So we'll just have a look at that. So we'll go back into our workflows. And we'll have a look at creating just another action on this one. So the question is, can you set up a task for a venue type, e.g. face-to-face? So let's just have a look at that and we will double check. So I'm just creating a new workflow action for our task here. And then the question was, can we set it up for a task up for a venue type? So what's it mapped to? So we've got, we have a resource on there. So potentially you could choose the resource that it was that it linked to. The type not specifically, but the resource you could. So you could select it per venue. So if you knew which venue it was going to be, you could select that. But you can't do it per type. So if you've got a venue set up that's like an in-person or a face-to-face venue, you won't be able to map that to that type. It would have to be to a specific resource. So I know we've covered quite a lot there. So hopefully that is you've learned something today or kind of had a bit of a refresher. I can get the slides sent out for you, and also the recording. This session is recorded, so it is on demand if you need it on our website, so you can go back and cover it again. If you are interested in going into some a bit more detail on how you do it on your own platform, then please drop us an email. That email is customersuccess@accessplanit.com. Drop us an email and we will be able to come back to you there and kind of work through with you individually. We've got one more question, which I will go through over. I'm just going to recap what we've done, and then I'll go through any other questions. So we've covered automated email sending. We looked at task generation, sending certificates automatically, as well as sign-in sheets and registers. So hopefully there'll be something that you're taking away afterwards. Certificates and sign-in sheets are, in my opinion, a game changer when you automate these. The ease of it all, that it can send to your trainer, they can download it themselves, is just takes away so much of that manual work. So hopefully there's something there for you all. Another question is, are there any ways to generate online sign-in sheets that could be used via a tablet and automatically captured by the system? At the moment, we need to manually add the attendance data into the system from a hard copy. There is. I will have your email, Morgan, and I think it will be good if I drop you an email and we'll get some set up. I can show you how that works for a tablet and kind of the different options. We can kind of go through it individually for your own individual circumstances and how we could do that. So I'll pop you an email after the session so I could get some time booked in to go through all that as well and try and take away some of the manual element of having to log your own attendance. Thank you all for attending. Again, I appreciate there's quite a lot of information there, especially when you go into the platform. It can be quite a lot to take in, but hopefully you've learned it, and hopefully there's something that you can take away from today. If you have got any questions, please do feel free to pop them in the Q&A box or drop us an email, as I mentioned. If there is anything else you need, please, as I mentioned before, let us know. customersuccess@accessplanit.com, and then one of the team will get back to you, whether that's via email or getting a call set up. Other than that, have a great rest of the day. And as I mentioned, if you do need the recording, that will be on the website later on today to refer back to. Enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of your week, and thank you for attending.